Hi guys, Simon Palmer here on the south coast of England. We're inside. It's been raining, but hey ho, here we go. So, what's your moonshot? What is a moonshot? Okay, let's explain. Okay, so the last few days I've spoken about how to identify your goals and go for it. So, just to reiterate, don't get stuck in society's rules. You choose mission over career and create some sort of balance in your life and learn to reframe failure. So the fifth step is to be unrealistic in your goals. I'll explain a little bit more, but turn on the notifications up there so that you know when I'm live in future and you can come and jump on. That'll be cool. So be unrealistic in your goals. Often, I was introduced to goal setting not that long ago, 2-3 years ago, and I was taught to use the acronym SMART for goal setting. So they needed to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, which meant you could put some sort of time scale on them about when they would be achieved. And I'm going to suggest to you that you should be unrealistic in your goals. Because, and I'm not sure who this is a quote from, but realism is nothing more than a socially acceptable form of pessimism. So realism is nothing more than a socially acceptable form of pessimism. Who wants to live like that? And if you look at the people with the most consistent track records, the big hitters, the ones that have built big companies and do well in their jobs, in their careers, or sport, or in any aspect of their life, the good ones are the ones who they don't think in terms of what is, they think more in terms of what could be. You'll find that the best team leaders, when their team, people in their team, they don't think of them as what they're like now. It's about their potential and what they've got in them, the greatness they have in them, and what they could achieve. So that's a little bit about reframing or spinning it. So moonshots was a word that was coined by Larry Page, who started Google, and obviously Google has achieved such wonderful things. His moonshot was to create free internet for everyone. Yeah, that's certainly the military know how to create leaders and look after part of their team. So yeah, free internet and self-driving cars. But some things that came to pass on the way have changed the world. Elon Musk, he wants to colonize Mars. So he hasn't yet, but so would we term that a failure? Well, not really, if you consider what he's achieved so far, and who's to say he's not going to achieve that? Because along the way he made the space shuttle redundant because he invented, well, not he invented, but he's responsible for the invention of a new rocket which enabled stuff to get into space better. Mind Valley is an education platform that I learn a lot of my stuff from. Was started by Vishen Lakhiani about 8 years ago, I think, maybe a bit more. But his mission is to form an online university, and so he wants to educate 100 million people to use their consciousness and personal growth as part of the curriculum. So for students, so for kids and kids growing up, to become more aware of their surroundings and consider personal growth rather than the normal subjects that we all learn at school. I just want to share this video if I'm in the right place. Apparently not. Let's refresh. Yeah, so he wants to create this university. I'll talk a little bit more about exciting educational things to come. But so if you you can be the people who want you to be realistic, or if you consider your goals to be realistic, they're only realistic because you want to avoid any anxiety. But you don't have to worry about anxiety if you practice discipline, because you can be happy in the now and have a vision for the future. So you can make your goals unrealistic, but you do have to be patient. It's not this thing doesn't happen overnight. You may set off. You may set you may set off your thoughts in the right direction, but the universe and things don't come to pass immediately. Sorry, I was just sharing on my timeline. They don't come to pass immediately. You have to be patient. Sometimes it takes longer than you might think, and sometimes some strange things happen along the way, and that's part of being unrealistic, because you don't know what the offshoots are going to be. Because if you start identifying your goals by virtue of using the logic, and that's the logic of the person you are now, not the person you're going to grow into along the way. So bear that in mind, because in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill said, he talked about vibes, people having vibes, and I think nowadays we would talk about that as being intuition, and your brain gets you get the inspiration comes to you. Don't go looking for it. It comes to you and it helps to pull you forward. So what you do is you take your baby steps and you autocorrect along the way. That's how you manage it. Just turned over my page in the wrong direction. So you, as you are now, may not know how to get to where you want to be, but that's not a problem, because you take a baby step, you autocorrect, and each time you autocorrect, you learn a little bit more, and you know a little bit more about where you want to be. So there's a good quote from Napoleon Hill and from the book, and it's about being able to communicate with sources of knowledge not available through the ordinary rain of thought. And essentially that means growing into a new thought process, because you grow into a new person. You're making decisions as a new person with new experiences, with new knowledge. He says you're able to communicate with sources of knowledge not available through ordinary rain of thought. So I'll leave you with that thought. But I also wanted to mention about something very exciting, a webinar that was on last night, which I watched this morning. It's also about an online college, an internet marketing college. And this isn't just for people with their own home businesses. This is for anybody who wants to learn the skills of internet marketing. So if you want to sell anything online, this is something where you can learn how to do it, whether it's e-commerce or print on demand or having your home business. So that you can use it for anyone, but it's not just teachers, it's actual seasoned entrepreneurs, professionals who know and have earned fortunes in internet marketing, who will be doing the teaching. But it'll be done in a structured way with a curriculum, and you can go and you can start this for free, for absolutely nothing. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about this in my webinar on Thursday evening. If you go to meetsimonpalmer.com/webinar, you sign up for it, come along, and I'll explain a little bit more about marketing, what is branding, the tools that you need for your business, and also this learning platform where you can start off for free and learn plenty. There's so much content that you can learn from, but also there are paid options, and this can replace a college degree and cost far less. So it's something to bear in mind. If you want to have a role whereby you could go to a company. Back in the day, when a lot of people made a lot of money from when Google first started, it was through AdWords, and that is a lot more difficult. And Google have changed the algorithms and all that sort of stuff, and you can't do it. You can't make the big money that those guys were making at the beginning. But if you were to learn at college, an online college, where you could actually go to a physical classroom as well if you wanted, If you could learn how to do marketing, if you could learn these skills and go to a business and say, give me a small percentage of your advertising budget, and I will go and get you more likes for your Facebook page, or increase your Twitter followers by X amount, because you've learned how to do it and they don't know how to do it. That's a skill you can take to the marketplace and still be an employee. I'm looking out the window because this dog's just appeared outside my door, and we don't have a dog. So that's a bit odd. So yeah, you can learn that, and I could talk about a lot more about that on my webinar on Thursday. So come along, meetsimonpalmer.com/webinar. And even if you don't come along, you might know someone who wants to learn about it, whether it's for their home business or if they want to learn more about marketing as an employee, or to help their company that they work for. So yeah, meetsimonpalmer.com/webinar, and I will see you all on the next video. Thanks for watching.